Welcome everyone here to Apex Racing TV for coverage here of the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series presented by 42 Stitches here at the Okayama International Circuit. We're here for round number 7. What a great battle we're about to have here today. Join alongside me is Dane Baird and Smoothie Kumo in the production booth. Dane, we're going to one of the free tracks on iRacing, which always brings a little bit of excitement. How's it going tonight?
Yeah, it's going well. I'm looking forward to this. Okayama is a fun little circuit. I think in these cars it will be a pretty good match. A couple of overtaking opportunities for these guys into turn 1 and on the back straight into the hairpin, and a very aptly named hairpin corner. So that's not going to get too confusing, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good one. We've got a huge grid again today.
Yeah, another huge grid. We see a great grid every week for this series. One of my favorite series to call. Just puts on some fantastic racing. What's really nice about here is that you have classes, Spec 1 and Spec 2. Spec 1's for drivers with higher than 3,000 I rating. You'll see with numbers 0 to 199. And the S2 class is under 3,000 I rating from 200 and up. So, Dane, like we say every week, everybody's able to race against somebody else, and that makes it so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have 53 cars on the grid today. So that is going to be interesting. It's not the longest of circuits, Okayama. So 53 cars is going to be very, very crowded, I think, and it should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. And you can see there's already pretty close driving happening here with a couple of the volcano cars. We saw the volcano cars working very well together last time out at Monza, which was awesome to see. And I think we might see a little bit more of that again today. But it's not going to be something. It's not going to be too draft heavy, the circuit, as we saw last time at Monza.
Yeah, we won't see the as draft heavy as we saw at Monza on those long straightaways. So a couple straights that we see here, you're going to be able to see a toe, but not as much as we had at Monza. Our standings are pretty close so far in the Spec 1 standings. They have 3 drop weeks, which is really neat to have that. But the leader in the point standings right now is Rafael Burbagal, who's moved up 5 spots after the drop weeks. And then we have Gorka Itaret, David Gaspers, Forens Arabian, Rodrigo Duran up in the top 7 spots, Austin Winter, Andres Bertoni, Daniel Sadro, Sergio Dorelli, and Ian Haycock's top 10. So that's a really tight battle with 7 and 8 points to the lead, Dane.
Yeah, and absolutely, it's a really close between all of these drivers in this championship. And we've got Spec 2 standings up there.
Yeah, Antonio Reyes has been on a dominant performance so far. 6 rounds in, we go to round number 7 here. Bob Kern in second, and then pretty much the battles for the final podium spots is Bob Kern, Maxine de Thomason, Miro, Yuri Cox, Kenneth Bailey. And then we got Mayer, Jackson, Short, and then Gibson and Jacobson are tied for 10th. So yeah, Dane, the battle for the championship is pretty much over for the Spec 2, but everyone else is fighting hard for those final positions. As we're just over a couple races halfway here in the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series. What do you expect out of this fun little Okayama track?
Well, like I said earlier, there's a couple of overtaking opportunities there into turn number 1, which we've just seen, and then again into hairpin corner, which the drivers will be coming up to in just a bit. They've got to navigate these S's, which in this car are going to be flat out, and then up through into this pretty tricky braking zone. The corner originally goes downhill, but then it swoops higher, all the way up. As we see a car off in the background of that shot there, but it comes all the way uphill, so getting that corner right, you need a lot of momentum through there, otherwise you're just going to bog down as you climb up that hill. They're coming down the longer straight on the course now in towards hairpin corner. This is going to be one of the major overtaking opportunities in the circuit.
Yeah, trying to complete their final lap here. The drivers are trying to get a good starting spot here at Okayama. We'd like to thank 42 Stitches for coming on board for this series. For full service custom apparel decoration, check out 42 Stitches. They specialize in embroidery and heat transfer and can take your ideas from sketch to finished product, everything from shirts to hats to masks to gaiters. Check them out at 42stitches.com. Shoot them an email at info@42stitches.com to get your project started. 42 Stitches has you covered. Great website. Check them out. Always have some really good good products available. But you know, drivers right now, Dane, are just finishing up their final lap, and it's a really tight battle for the one for the pole, but throughout the whole field. I mean, within a second for the first 18 or so drivers.
Absolutely. And the checker flag is out, which means anyone not already on a lap is done. And if you're on a lap, you get to finish it within reason. There is a cutoff time, but I don't think any of the drivers have to worry about that. I believe it's around about 2.5 minutes. But we've got quite a few drivers. Here is Austin Winner at the end of the lap. Just 2 more corners to navigate. What I believe is a flat-out right-hander in these cars. And then into the braking zone for the final corner. Track extend as much as you dare. Touching that gravel could be the end of your day. Austin crosses the line. Where's he going to go? Up into third.
Yeah, up into third for Austin Winter. Yeah, I was testing out the car earlier, trying to carry as much speed as I could with this car. Very good momentum car with this Spec Racer Ford, and such a fun car to drive. You know, I did a couple practices, almost did an official race this week. So you know, a lot of respect for any driver that gets in this field. Just a fun field. The drivers always puts on a good show. Just a couple drivers are finishing up their time. Well, looks like just David Bohm. There's Flavio up in 20th. Good qualifying effort for the Spec 2 driver. Fastest Spec 2 driver so far is Kenneth Bately in 16th.
Ooh, that was a bit sketchy there, touching the dirt on the exit. Good job managing to hold on to that though. It seems that we've got almost every single one of the drivers finished. It's just a couple more drivers still on their laps. Paulo Brame is one of them, but he is heading into the pits. It's a very odd pit entry here, and the drivers are going to have to make a pit stop, so that's going to potentially cause a couple of issues. They sort of go on the inside of that curb for the penultimate corner, which I've seen a couple of times. Drivers misjudging the braking, and yeah, that never ends well.
Yeah, you got to be real cautious coming into pit road here. Average 28 minutes of fuel with the good old limit of fuel, which is really nice that they have a pit stop in. Qualifying is over. Drivers are working their way to the grid. Let's take a look at your Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warriors presented by 42 Stitches starting grid. On the pole from the Alex Kart Racing Raptor, Naselli putting on a whale of an effort there, but starting in second place. One of the drivers that's been competing for the win almost every week, and that's Rodrigo Duran. Austin Winter, then Rafael Berbagal, your points leader. Florence Arabian, Gorka Itaret, Larry McLeod, Andres Bertoni, Tim Van Dorleman, Bobby West, Mitch Weatherly, Youngsie Lin. And then 13th, we have Jeff Fritzer, Steven Elson, then Daniel Sadro, Ken Bately, Alan Schneider. Your Spec 2 championship leader, Antonio Reyes, is in 18th. Yerny Zorks in 19th. Flavio Andalo, Ryan Sorel. Good to see Ryan in the field. Chris Murakami, Dominique Barreau, Bob Kern rounding out the 24th position. 25th, Ian Haycock, Emil Orza, and then Miros, Simon Mayer, Ed Doherty, Max De Thomason, Kurt Nunez, Yuri Cox, Brian Short, Adam Bradshaw, David Bohm, Thomas Renders, and then 37th, Jeff Jacobson, and Paulo Breme, Jeff Cantor, Jim McGill, Paul Jackson, Ian Gibson, Tom Gradwell. And then we have Julio Focalin in 44th, Johan Butinga, Gary Wobolt, Brett Nordstrom, Matthew Flipowicz. And then we have Alessandro, Arthur Grant, Stevie Ray, Mats, and then Samuel Dick rounding out the rest of the field. Dane, 53 cars here for this another round here, the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series. This is going to be great. I like with this rolling start.
Absolutely, you can see the sheer quantity of drivers in this field. You can see all the way back down that entire stretch of track. Any more and they would have had to start going around the corner in the background there. but it is Naselli who will lead the pack on the inside there in the number 1 car. Pace car will pull off here. Or no, it won't. It will pull off now. There it goes. And the field is under Naselli's control as we come to start the race.
Yep, pace car working their way down, finally into, there it is, into the pit road. Naselli, Duran winner, Berbergal. Green flag here at Okayama International Circuit. You see Austin Winter trying to get a good jump on Duran, almost a little bit of contact. There goes Naselli, Duran, and Berbergal on the left side. Winter going to try to dive it in on the 23 of Berbergal. Berbergal maintaining 4th position. Naselli's going to lead the field in. You see Fritcher back there trying to make a little bit of move back at 13th. Yeah, it goes Naselli, Duran, Winter. Very clean start so far, Dane.
Absolutely. Hopefully it stays clean. We can only see half the grid in the timing tower, but from my live timing, it looks like pretty much everyone's being clean. And there you go. You've given them the curse. That's Weatherly and Yancy Lin in the number 30 car in the front of the screen. Those two are going to have to try and rejoin, but there's more carnage. Oh, all the drivers are off here. Some drivers look like they're stuck together, actually, those 2 cars. Lin and that might have been right short. Oh, and it's all kicking off here at the front of the field as well. Almost 3 wide into the hairpin. Winner's trying to go around the outside for second.
Yeah, about 9-10 drivers collected up in that, but the battle is on for the lead with Duran, Naselli, Winner, Berbergal, Itoret, your top 5. I mean, you could fit a little tiny sheet of paper in between all those drivers. Winner right on the rear end of Naselli as we go on board with Austin. Hits the apex, needs to get a good corner exit here. Like you were saying earlier, Dane, you got to carry a lot of momentum, got to carry a lot of speed through this turn. Oh, Naselli goes into the grass and goes a little wild and crazy. That's going to let Austin Winter to second. Berbergal going to try to make the move on 3rd. Duran going to lead lap number 1 here at Okayama.
Yeah, that was just a little bit of a mistake there. It's been very costly, dropping down the order of pole position man, of course, which promoted Bogal up into 3rd, Itoret into 4th. Itoret making that really unfortunate error right at the end of the race last time out at Monza, which is why he lost the win. He was leading by a considerable distance, a couple of seconds over his Volcano teammates, and yeah, just making that error at the end of the race. Unfortunate for him, but he's going to want to try and bounce back. He's currently doing pretty well up in 4th. Florence Arabian, if my memory serves me correctly, having an absolutely awful round at Monza, and he's going to be in 6th now, trying to work his way back up through the field, trying to finish strong like we have seen him a couple of times. That's a huge lunge from Sadro. Yeah,
Sadro making a good move. Yeah, like you said, Florence had a really rough race last week, but it's time to reset and get a good race here at Okayama. But take a look at Daniel Sadro, made a good move on Steven Ellison. His job is to get up to Jeff Fritcher now. Big shout out to Ryan Sorrell, back in 18th, putting on a pretty good run for the Spec 2 driver. We don't see him out here very often, but he's one of the organizers for the series and just does a phenomenal job. So it's good to see him out on the racetrack. But he's got another opportunity to get around the Spec 1 driver, Dominique Barreau. Back to front.
That was Gorka in the gravel, and that's going to allow Naselli to go to his inside. Arabian just behind. Naselli up the inside and towards turn number 1. Gorka tries to hang it around the outside. He's going to take the switchback, trying to have the outside line now. No space there. He's going to go for the switchback again. A little bit of contact. Naselli holds onto it, but I think Arabian's going to come past now as well.
Yeah, Itoret tried to get into the corner as close as he could, made a little contact with Naselli, and that allows Arabian to make the move into the 5th position. Man, this is just every week we get great racing, Dane. This is just so much fun to call. See Arabian now side by side with Itoret. Gorka's got the preferred line down the straightaway, but Florence has a little bit of tow from Naselli. Duran still leading. Itoret still in a good opportunity to move up into 5th. Well, he wants that podium, or he is in 5th. We did have a driver make their way down pit road.
Oh, look at that. That is a lot of drivers trying to head through there. A little bit of contact. The 35 pushes the 205 wide. 205 comes back on track, almost taking Emil Orza with him. And now David Bohm's going to have a look as well. From the 122 car down the inside into the first of the 2 hairpins, and he's got that move done before they even reach the turn-in.
Yeah, great move by him. This is the battle for around the 21st position. There's battles throughout the whole field. Everyone's got someone to race against. That's what makes this race so much fun. This series, always one of my favorite races to call all week. But let's take a look at Simon Mayer, 25, 308 Spec 2 driver, putting on a really good effort. Got Bob Kern right behind him. Lap times around the 146, 147 minute mark. So, you know, a little longer lap times than, you know, in the last couple of weeks. So these drivers are really not going to get the amount of laps they would like to sometimes get on the shorter tracks, if that makes any sense, but it probably doesn't. But look at Jeff Fritcher, big send in by Elson. Elson kind of makes a little bit of contact with Fritcher, and that's going to lose 3 spots for Fritcher. Hey, Dane, just look at him. Fritcher's going to get a good run down the straightaway, though.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of netcode there. There was a good, I would say, about a foot, maybe 2 feet between the 2 drivers there. And that's really unfortunate for him. He's picked up a little bit of damage as well. And he is now in 13th. But unfortunate for him, but he's going to have to try and work his way back up through the field. He's luckily not lost too much time. He's still right on the back of the straight.
Yeah, on board with Fritcher up to the beautiful camera ops we have here today, put on a really stellar show. Fritcher out of the West Club, that number 43, rocking that petty blue car, one of my favorite colors. Put on a whale of an effort up into 13th. Schneider's the next driver in line for him. Schneider, the Volcano car. Real good battle here for the battle for 10th position, led by Steven Elson. Oh, contact made Jacobson. Then you have the 555 of Paulo Breme involved. Jacobson, Breme. Just lap number 5 here out of a 40-minute race. Back up to the lead. Rodrigo Duran out in front with Austin Winter in second. A tiny, tiny little gap to the third, but a little bit bigger gap to fourth. Winter, I know he wants that spot from Duran. He doesn't want to have another Volcano car lead the next lap. We'll see if Winter's going to be able to make a move. He's going to have a good opportunity here. Winter right on the bumper.
Interesting that he's just stayed back there. He didn't go for a lunge. I thought he was going to. But yeah, he's stuck back in that number 33, but he does have Berbigal just behind. Maybe he was a bit conscious of that. Thought if I go for a lunge here and it doesn't work out, I'm going to have him all over the back of me. So I think a bit of a smart move there from Winner. He's just going to bide his time. We're only about a 5th of the way through this race.
Yep, 8.5 minutes down here of a 40-minute race. Remember, drivers, the pit window will open around 12 minutes in. You can run 28 minutes of fuel. Some drivers like to go early, some drivers like to go late. Just kind of depends on your situation. Each driver has one fast repair, so you want to hopefully not have to use it, but a lot of drivers have already taken that quick repair. Take a look at Berbigal. Put on a really good run. You know, I believe it was at Mid-Ohio where he ended up getting the win. That was a long time ago, Dane. Sometimes the memory doesn't keep up. But Berbigal put on a good run in the last spot on the podium. He needs to just work together with Winter right now, try to pull away from 4th, because those drivers behind him, Naselli started on the pole. He's super fast.
Absolutely. The last thing they want to do is battle too hard at the start of the race. because not only will it allow the drivers behind to catch up, but also chew those tires, which is the very last thing that they need. And winner, bump drafting down the straight. Is he going to go for a move? No, he's not. Interesting. I didn't think we were going to see bump drafting today, but I guess winner's just proved me wrong.
Yeah, that's okay, Dane. A lot of things I say I usually get proved wrong. That's why it's called I get a lot of commentators' curses. So unfortunately that happened to me earlier this race, so I'm going to try to keep the curses to a minimum. So, well, take a look at Sally here, the Alex Kart Racing Raptor car. And then that number 1 leading the Volcano of Echeret, and then Arabian behind him, putting on a whale of an effort. Pretty good battle though. I mean, throughout this whole field. We're back to David Bohm in the 21. It's getting a big send from Mayer behind him. Now with the 94 of Ed Doherty, a little side by side for the moment. Goes Doherty, Bohm, and Mayer. Doherty going to work his way down pit road. We'll see if he'll be able to make it make it the whole race. Its pit window hasn't quite opened up for him. We'll see if he'll be able to make it through. So he'll work his way down pit road. Take a look at David Bohm. Going to try to chase down Emil. 205 of Simon, putting on a move over the 308. Excuse me. That was Miro putting a move on Simon. Side by side still. I wouldn't want to go side by side through here, Dane. I'd probably junk the car.
Yeah, no, I've been side by side through there a couple of times. It's never actually ended without one of us in the wall. I've seen it a couple of times in some Porsche Cup races that we've been seeing here on Apex Racing TV over the last couple of weeks. In the Air A Porsche Cup and the iRacing Israel League, and both times around this circuit, going side by side down there is yeah, definitely not what you want to be doing, but they're still side by side into the hairpin. And finally the two go back into single file, but that battling has allowed Bob Kern to catch up to them, still side by side.
Yeah, still side by side. When we were practicing, you and I were practicing earlier today. Yeah, side by side did not work for us. We wrecked a lot. So this just showcases the talent of these drivers. So good. You see, I believe that was Miro going a little bit off track there. Simon Mayer going to try to get around him there. But yeah, what a good view for Bob Kern here. He's like, hey, these guys need to start battling so I can work up into that position. A couple drivers making their way down pit road because the pit window is open. That's Tim Van Dorleman and your championship S2 leader, Antonio Reyes. You got Stevie Ray working down, the Ray Esports racing driver. So now that the pit window has opened, you're going to see drivers working their way down pit road. As you can see on the left side of your screen where it says pit or pit lane or pit exit, that's going to mean they are in the pits. So a couple drivers working their way down pit road. So it's kind of what we expect. We see it kind of every week. People have a little bit different strategy. We take a look at Gary Wobolt right now in the tow of Yuri Cox. Oh, Yuri's car is just, it's seen better days, Dean.
Yeah, that's not looking too happy at all. Yeah, that 555 car is really not looking good as well. That is a car off. That is Flavio Andalo in the 415, and that is also not a very happy looking car.
Not a happy looking car indeed. The paint delivery looks really nice, but just the damage just doesn't look very nice. So we'll see if he's going to be able to recoup, come in when he needs to make his pit stop, get that quick repair, and make it all the way to the end of the race. So Flavio back into the 36th spot. He's kind of fallen down quite a bit. There's Antonio Reyes right in front of him, already made his pit stop. That Spec 2 championship leader. Such a nice guy to talk to, you know.
Oh, look, he's gone off.
That's Nunez. Kurt Nunez going off, the California Club driver. Right rear looks a little unhappy. Left rear, the 244 looks a little unhappy. That's Cantor in front of him. This is the battle for spots around 38. So I mean, always battling, no matter what position you're in. That's what makes, you know, some sim races fun. You see Kurt Nunez gonna work his way down pit road. Remember, no pit road speed limiters, so you gotta be very cautious. You don't speed entering while in pit lane and exiting pit lane. So we'll see how drivers are gonna push the limit. I believe the pit road speed limit is around 37 mile an hour. So we'll see. That's a tough speed to hold. Just it's not neat. It's not like a normal number you would think of. But take a look at Ed Doherty here in the 94. Got Stevie Ray right on him. Ed putting on a really good effort here. Well, that color green is like my favorite color for race cars. So I really like the bright color. So his car's just really bright and doing well in the 38th position. Well, Dane, we're about 4 minutes to the halfway point. Is this kind of what you expected so far?
Yeah, I think Winners actually held back quite a bit, which I wasn't really expecting. I was expecting to try and get in front as early as possible. But yeah, 15 minutes in, and I think these guys at the front, they're actually losing a little bit of time to Naselli in 4th, who's got Iterette, Gorka Iterette, and it looks like Arabian as well. Just behind them. They're all trying to close this gap, but these 3 drivers, very similar to what we saw in Monza with the 3 Volcano cars. Now it's a Austin winner in a Volcano sandwich.
Yeah, the sandwich indeed, led by Duran, and then on the other end of the sandwich you got Perbegal. So yeah, winner's right smack dab in the middle. But you know, if I was in this race, that's the spot I'd want to be in, because then I'd be in 2nd. So. But Winner's in a good opportunity, just kind of buying his time. Still needs to make that pit stop. Got about 11 minutes till the pit window closes. A couple drivers have already made their way down pit road, but the lead pack, or the leaders, have stayed out. So it goes Duran, Winner, Berbergal down this long straightaway. Get hard on the brakes. Get a nice corner exit there to set up for pretty tricky set of turns. You can lose a lot of speed here if you just don't hit it quite right, don't carry enough speed through it.
They're really, really close, these top 3 drivers, separated by about 0.7 of a second between them. And yeah, these 2 drivers really, really close to Duran. I'm still surprised that Owen hasn't tried to maybe make a move. He's definitely close enough too. But yeah, it's very interesting, sort of tactics-wise, what he's trying to do. But yeah, Bubba tagging on along with these 2, also not trying to make too much of a move. That gap between Naselli and Berbergal is now 1.3, 1.4 seconds, so that gap is coming down.
Yeah, the gap is starting to shrink up a little bit. You know, if Berbergal and Winner start trying to battle for that lead, that gap's gonna shrink even more. So they're just working together, not trying to, you know, pull off too many crazy moves yet. Slow car of Tim Van Dorleman just going out of the way. Very nice of him to do that. Or that was Brett Nordstrom, excuse me. So fortunate for Brett, not the best run for him. Side by side going into here. Naselli, Iterette, and Arabian able to make their way through. That was pretty tight. That's going to help out the top 3 of Duran, Winner, and Berbergal. Into this. Let's take a look at Bobby West right now, putting on a really good effort up in the 8th position. Bobby so far is up 2 spots from his 10th starting spots, putting on a really good effort, leading this pack of about 7 or 8 cars. I mean, it's just a long train, all aboard the train. Fritcher and Schneider. Fritcher up into 10th. He's up 3 spots, good run for him in that beautiful car. Take a look at Daniel Sadro, going to work his way down pit road. Going to need to get a good entrance into the pit road. Meanwhile, Austin Winter puts down the quickest lap of the session. Perfect entrance for Sadro. Making sure he doesn't speed. Schneider. For sure looked like he was going to try to make a move, but not quite. Schneider going to try to get around Bobby West, stay in the tow, and get into a good passing opportunity. Looks to be just under half of the drivers that pitted so far, Dane, so expect pit road to get super, super busy very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Halfway race distance now. As the 279 car either having a bit of a weave in the background or maybe touch the grass. That is the driver in 50th position, Brett Nordstrom. I think that might have been a massive moment for him, but good car control managed to keep that going in a straight line.
Yep, take a look at onboard heading to the apex, getting a good exit here. Brett putting on a number 279. He's one lap down, but man, he's a fun driver to watch. So real big. I'm a big fan. Oh, kind of locks it up a little bit, goes off track. I'm a big fan of everybody in this series. They're all fun to watch.
It looks like Durant's gone into the pits, so is Berbergal. Winner stayed out. Itoret gone into the pits as well. And that looks like Arabian potentially has gone through. No, he hasn't. Arabian stays out, as does Naselli. So the first group of drivers into the pits, all of the Volcano cars.
Yeah, 3 of the Volcano cars making their way down pit road, which is going to leave Winner with a second half gap over Naselli, and then Arabian you see right behind him. Expect to see Winner to come down either this lap or the lap after. Probably see him come this time by if the pit entrance is clean. Berbergal, Itoret, and Duran down and away. Pit crew did a great job as they get back up to speed. The winner so far for this one would be Berbergal and Itoret, because Duran kind of fell behind David Bohm for a second. We'll see if he's going to be able to get around him. You know, if this was in like a GT car, it'd probably be flashing the lights, but they don't have lights, the flash built in on this car yet, I don't think. But let's take a look at Gorka Itoret. Right in front of David Bohm, his teammate right behind him, who just kind of fell back a little bit. But Duran wasn't a part of that lead pack though, so that's gonna probably has some big reasons for that. Battle with Paul Jackson, 249 with Antonio Reyes, your Spec 2 points leader. I was gonna say this earlier, but then we had some carnage. Man, Antonio's such a fun driver to interview after the race. Just a real fun guy, and he just enjoys the series like all these drivers do. Antonio Reyes looking to make a big move on Ian Haycox in that 35. Antonio able to get the run into the corner, make the overtake. Arabian making his way down pit road. That means Winter and Naselli have stayed out. So top 2 drivers yet to make their way down pit road. Remember, Antonio already made his pit stop. He was one of the first drivers to make their way into pit road.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to wait and see when the drivers are going to choose to go down. That is a massive cluster of cars going 3 wide. Arabian comes out of the pits behind, and more importantly, behind a lot of the lapped cars as well. I say lapped cars, drivers that haven't pitted yet. They're not even lapped, so they are more than entitled to battle for position here. Volcano cars struggling a little bit to get past David Bohm, but Arabian has come out quite considerably behind, and that is not good for himself.
Yeah, not the best pit stop for Arabian, but he's still in good striking distance if they start to really battle in front of him and be able to catch up. Winter and Naselli still haven't, of the lead pack, still haven't made their way down pit road. It's either this time or next time by, Dane, so we'll just have to wait and see. Take a look at the number 10 of Duran, put on a good move past Itoret. Itoret side by side with Emil. And there's Arabian starting to inch his way a little bit closer to Emil. Oh, and David Bohm looks like could have been a little bit of contact out into the kitty litter a little bit, but able to stay on track. Winner's gonna stay out, Naselli's gonna stay out. Cloud gonna stay out, West is staying out. Pretty much these drivers are gonna wait till the last moment. Pretty much the last moment's gonna be most likely this time by with a minute 45 lap time. And that's gonna get up to about 26:45. So maybe able to make another lap, but Austin Winter, your leader with Naselli and the one behind him. Guessing they're gonna make their way down pit road, Dane?
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I mean, we know they last around about 28 minutes normally. And yeah, that 28-minute mark is approaching. Having said that, Winner might be able to go maybe a lap, potentially 2 laps further, because of all that time he spent fuel saving behind. It was Duran. So he might have been saving quite a bit of fuel, which is why he's been able to go a bit longer. See if they're going to go into the pits then. Yes, Winner does, and Naselli follows him. Super fast through there. And now coming through the pit entry marker. There are the cones. They have to get slowed down before then. And the pit siren sounds. They don't have pit lane limiters, do they, Avery? So they've got to keep their speed down manually.
They don't have the pit speed limiter, so you gotta be right on the limit. Great job by Winner and Naselli working their way and stopping just where you want to be, and it's super important. We'll see where they come out. Looks like they might have lost a little bit of time. Winner's already at pit exit. Naselli's on pit exit. We'll see. Winner's gonna maintain the lead of the main lead pack. The drivers 1 through 6 have not made their way down pit road. So great job by Austin Winter. About a half a second gap between him and Verbigal.
Yeah, I think the Volcano car is getting stuck in traffic as they came out of the pits. That was unfortunate for them. They lost quite a good amount of time, which allowed Winner to get out ahead. But I suspect that Verbigal isn't going to be as patient as Winner was. He's going to want to be getting past fairly quickly. There are the 2 drivers. Verbigal was just behind Winner as they entered the pits. I believe it was Duran leading the race as they headed down into the pit lane, and he's lost out quite a lot in the pit cycle.
Yeah, he did. Austin Winter. Got Verbigal behind him. But that's what Winter needs to see. A good gap between Verbigal and Itoret, because Duran goes wide. Super wide. That's going to cause him to lose a couple of positions. That 142 Jim McGill. He is a lap down. Oh, and Duran goes around, collects Arabian a little bit. Got a couple drivers making their way down pit road to make their final and hopefully final pit stop of the day for a couple of those drivers, McLeod West and Sorrell. Back to Verbigal. Winner. This is pretty much the battle for the lead because the top 3 drivers, I believe, haven't made their way down pit road, or they pitted maybe a little early. But yeah, so Winner Winner and Burbergall got a really nice gap between them and Naselli, who would be in third position after the pit cycle goes through. So that's going to allow them to battle a little bit, as we're 29.5 minutes down of 40 here for the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series here on Apex Racing TV. Big shout out to 42 Stitches for sponsoring this series. If you like what you see, come back next week, same time, same place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can watch some more of our amazing broadcasts here on Apex Racing TV. And next week, we're going to be at the beautiful track of Road America for 10 laps. So that's going to be an exciting race. But this one is super exciting right now. Burbergall and Winner battle right now for fourth. Snyder making his way down pit road, the Volcano car. And then Dominique Barreau is pitted. So it's almost, pit cycle's almost through.
A couple more drivers down into the pits then. Schneider and Barreau. And Naselli's retained his fourth position, which will become third once Yerny Zoritz pits. Yerny Zoritz currently up 18 positions from where he started. That's going to drop down quite considerably when he eventually heads into the pit lane. Schneider's already dropped down all the way to 20th after being right up in the top few positions. And there is Yerny Zoritz negotiating with some lap traffic. That is Arthur Grant in the 46th position in the 314 car. Yerny Zoritz, if he doesn't go down into the pits now, I'm almost 99% sure he runs out of fuel.
Probably need to send the tow truck. Spec 2 championship race results so far, not results. Antonio Reyes is leading that class. Ken Bately and Ryan Sorrell. Great run for Ryan. Such a good run for him. We don't see him too often, but does a lot for this series. He's in the final spot of the podium. We'll see if Yerny is going to make his way down pit road. We'll have to wait and see. Yep, down to pit road. So he's going to forfeit the lead. Winner's going to take it over with a 0.3 of a second gap over Burbergall. 32 minutes down here of 40. Winner, Burbergall, Naselli, Itoret, your top four. And then Arabian's going to be there in fifth, kind of all by himself a little bit. But that's okay. So yeah, Winner's out in front, followed by Burbergall. Winner has yet to win this season.
Not living up to his name then, is he?
No, I don't believe he won the first race. So don't hold me to it. But yeah, he's been put on a really good effort. They got a nice gap between. That's going to allow them to battle for the final 7.5 minutes of this race. Probably going to complete 23 or 24 laps here at Okayama International Circuit. This is the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series presented by 42 Stitches on Apex Racing TV. Burbergall going to take the... We're going to try to take the path less traveled, but wasn't quite able to get enough of a run. Winner's going to maintain the lead. Winner's carrying a lot of speed through there.
Absolutely, they're running as wide as possible. A little bit of a touch to the gravel, trying to extend the track as much as possible, run as much speed through the corners as possible. Very much a momentum car, the Spec Racer Ford, not the most powerful car. They really have to rely on keeping as much speed as possible. A little bit of a mistake there from Winner. It's allowed Burbergall to catch up slightly more. We are just about to start lap number 20 with just over 5 minutes to go. Around about 6 minutes to go when we cross the line. So I'm gonna say 4 laps to go here as we start lap number 20.
Starting lap number 20. Winner, Burbergall got a 3-second gap over Naselli and Itoret. You'll see them in the back of your screen. So a good gap so far. The drivers are running about 3/10 of a second slower than their best lap. As the lead cars is, Naselli just ran his personal best. So a little bit quicker than the leaders, but just only way they're going to be able to battle for, make it a 4-way battle for lead is if the if Winner and Burbergall start to really race each other hard, maybe have a little contact, but we don't want to see that. So we got Winner and Burbergall out in front. Man, if you just take a look at the track map on the top right of your screen, just how much of a battle is in like the bottom right of the track, and then around where the leaders are, it's pretty much open air. So they might catch up the lap traffic, which could make this really interesting. There's Ken Bailey. This is the battle for the second spot in the S2 championship, or not really the battle for the second spot. He's got that pretty much locked up for a while, but this is the battle to maintain a really good overall finish.
This is very close now, then on the back of Batley. Let's see if he's going to he's pulls to the inside. Hold on the brakes for the really tight hairpin that they have here. And he makes the move stick up into 16th, goes left.
Yeah, take a look at Tom Gradwell. That S2 driver put on a good effort. He's got Maxime. And then the 334. Good battle here. Tom Gradwell put on a really good effort up in the 30th position. Great battles throughout the whole field.
I really do like the paint scheme on this 299 car.
Yeah, really nice car, real bright. .36.5 minutes down to 40. So the time is winding down to finish round 7 of the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series, presented by 42 Stitches. Good run for Yerny Zorks. He's up in 10th. It was the last driver to make their way down pit road, side by side with Rowe. So Tony Ray's looking to make a move. We'll see if it's going to be able to make it stick. Your S2 championship leader, your S2 class leader. Remember, drivers S2 lower than 3,000 iRating from 200 and up on the driver number. Ray's leads that.
Yeah, race was under 3,000 iRating at the start of the season when they decided which drivers would be in what spec, but he's now up at 3,200. I heard a lot of wheel spin, and that was the 56 of Elson dropping down the order. I heard that before I saw it. But yeah, that's unfortunate for him. I think that's a very easy thing to do. The track is really off camber in the final sector. It's really not good. I remember doing a league race in Formula Renault 2.0s back in, this must have been early 2019 at this point. And yeah, that was the worst corner on the track for me. I spun it there way too many times. And yeah, he's been claimed as a victim.
Yep, just under 2 minutes to go here at Okayama. Big battle up in front. It's winner Burbergall with about 2.5 second gap to third. Winner's trying to get the big W here at Okayama, but Burbergall wants to get another one and extend the points lead. He's got a 7-point lead over Gorka Itoret. Winner sent down in 6th place in the points, so he wants to gain as much points as he can and try to take away the championship from Burbergall.
They're going to take the white flag next time by then. Burbergall, I'm not sure if he's going to be close enough into turn number 1 to maybe make a move. I think he'll have to leave it. I think he will want to leave it. Oh, Winner a little bit wide. It won't slow him down too much though. I think he's going to want to leave it until the back straight, which is risky. But if he overtakes Winner now, chances are Winner will just take him back down that main straight, or the back straight.
Yeah, Winner on the white flag lap, going to try to hold off Burbigal to get the big W. We'll see if he's able to hold him off. Burbigal putting in a good move on Winner. Winner's going to have the preferred line going into the tight section. We'll see if he's going to be able to make a move. Winner just there, side by side with Burbigal. They're going to, looks like they almost touched a little bit.
Who's going to have the better run down the back straight? I think it's Burbigal who has the better run. Is Winner going to tuck behind a little bit? He's going to have the inside line for the hairpin. Still side by side into the braking zone. Little bit of a defensive line from Burbigal. Winner goes in. They do make a little bit of contact. Door banging between the two of them. If this car had doors, that is. And Winner's still trying to hold it around the outside. Burbigal just not able to make it work. Right on the back of him now as they come towards the final sector.
Yep, Winner maintains the lead with Burbigal. You got Itret and Naselli in the battle for the final spot on the podium right now. Winner maintains the lead. Putting on a really good defensive effort. Burbigal going to give him a little bit of bump, but that hurt Burbigal more than it hurt Winner. Winner going to need to carry a lot of speed through here. I don't think Burbigal's going to be able to make a move. He's going to drive it in a little bit deeper than normal, but coming out of the final turn for the final time here, Okayama International Circuit, the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series. It could be a drag race. No. Austin Winner is going to take home the win here in the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series with Burbigal, Itret, and Naselli. What a great drive for all those competitors. They have finished so far. Raven's going to take the top 5. See Barreau going to try to hold off Yurney. Antonio Reyes going to take another Spec 2 race win.
Awesome
Coming
stuff
home in
for
11.
him. And that's a good gap once again for him to the next driver in the Spec 2. That's Batley down in 17th. There he is. Getting pushed across the line. Is he? No. Bohm goes to the outside and Bohm takes it just over the line by 0.02 of a second.
Yeah, what a splendid effort by all the drivers here today. Just a couple more to finish. Flavio Andalo had a little incident earlier. Paulo Breme also had a little incident. Some of these drivers, cars were a little crunched up. They came in, got that quick repair. Couple drivers running out of fuel, coming in a little bit early, or just not taking enough.
Yeah, Nunez is dropping back a lot. Look at that. Is he going to make it? I think he will. The Lion is just there. And he does finish. Looks like Renders just beat him to the line. But lucky for Nunez there, he just had enough fuel to get to the end. But he would have liked a little bit more so he didn't lose all of those positions at the end.
Oh yeah, you know, sometimes you get to that point where you're running low on fuel. You're just like kind of puts my way there. But what a fantastic race we had here at Okayama. Man, this Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series is such a blast to call. Take a look at your final results here. Austin Winner getting the big win here at Okayama, then goes by Burbigal, Itret, Naselli, Arabian, Duran, Sadro, McLeod, Bureau, Yurney Zorts. Antonio Reyes gets home the Spec 2 race win again as you take a look at the demo derby in the back.
Oh,
on
wow.
screen. And then you have Bobby West, Jeff Fritcher, Stephen Elston.
The barriers.
You got Tim Van Dorlem in 15th. You got Lynn, David Bohm, Ken Bately getting that second place in the Spec 2 class. Then we go to 19th position. Emil Orza, then Stevie Ray, Simon Mayer, Chris Murakami, Samuel Dick in the 23rd position. Miro, and then Ed Doherty, Yuri Cox, Jeff Jacobson, Maxime Thomason in 28th. And then 29, Alan Schneider, and Tom Gradwell, Bob Kern. Got to take a breath. And then we have Julio Forcallen down in 32nd. 33rd goes to Paul Jackson, Adam Bradshaw, Ian Haycox, Flavio Andalo, Paulo Breme, Gary Wolbolt, Jeff Cantor, Brian Short, Renders, Nunez, Johan Butinga, Ian Gibson, Brett Nordstrom, Mats, Arthur Grant, Jim McGill in 48th. And then down in 49th position, we have Ryan Sorrell. Must have had a little bit of incident that he wasn't able to finish. And then Matthew Flipowicz, Mitch Weatherly, Alessandro, and Andreas Bertoni down in 53rd. So that brings home the field. Dane, what a fun race, but we got Austin Winter joined in us. Hey, Austin, you there?
Yep, I hear you.
Congratulations on getting the win here at Okayama in the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series. How were you able to hold off that hard charger of Rafael?
Well, I mean, I kind of dug my own grave there. The last lap, I missed a shift coming out of turn 2, so he pulled up alongside. But luckily, I could stay defensive and get the inside on the next couple of corners. And the important one was I had the inside on the hairpin. He gave me a little bit of room in the next corner, which I don't think he had to do on the last lap, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, was such a great battle. I mean, you guys were really close with the top 5, and you made your way down in pit road, and it was kind of a two-way battle. How were you able to get so much speed with that pit stop?
Well, I felt pretty fast here. My lap times were pretty good all week, but the pit stop, I was lucky enough to be in second the whole time and before the pit stop, and so I could just let off the gas a little bit going into all the hard braking zones and save just a little bit of fuel. So I only had to put in 0.7 gallons. I don't know what everybody else had to put in, but people were talking about 1 gallon before the race. So that probably saved me a little bit of time, and Burbergal must have had a good stop as well because it was just the two of us after the pit stops.
Yeah, it was just a two-way battle. We take a look at well, we don't take a look at the point standings before. You're 36 points down, but this big win is going to help propel you to probably to the top 3 or 4 in the points. What's going to be the big strategy going into next week at Road America to try to get another win?
I guess do some practice races, make some friends. It's a heavy drafting track, so hopefully I'm around some friendly faces and we can draft together during the race.
Well, congratulations, Austin, on the win. Before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I got a couple of people who watch every week, and I really appreciate it. I'm sure they'd be doing other things if it weren't for me, and I just want to shout out to them. Thank you for watching every week, and Stevie Ray was back. Great to have him back. He's the founder of this league. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Stevie does a great job. We'll see you next week, Austin. That's Austin Winter taking home the big W here at Okayama International Circuit. Dane, this series never disappoints. What's the highlight for you of this race?
I was gonna pick the volcano cars fighting their way back up, and also that battle right at the end there for the lead. But I think the demolition derby really outdid itself here today. While you were busy reading through the standings, I had to mute my mic because it was actually very funny watching the drivers have at it after the race there. That was it was really funny to see some drivers being sent on a mission to Mars by the end there. But no, the whole race was really good, as always here on the Weekend Warriors series. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to being back next week.
Yeah, round 7 over here at Okayama. The winner of this event was Austin Winter. For everybody here at Apex Racing TV, I'm Avery McDonald, was joined alongside with Dane Baird and Samuli Kumo. Come back next week, Road America, same time, same place. We'll have coverage of the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warriors Series. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.